Hello and welcome to the latest episode of Show Me Your Diamond. My newest diamond is Charlotte Grierson, founder and creative director of Charlotte Reedtz Jewellery. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure to be with you today. We know each other already for a couple of years. We have done some jewelry fabulous events together. And here I would like to share a little bit more about the fascinating story and journey of Charlotte. Charlotte creates jewelry that is much more than pretty jewelry. It's also spiritual, it's jewelry with a meaning. So how did you come up with this idea, and why is spirituality and meaning in jewelry important to you?
I grew up in Denmark. I'm Danish, and I grew up with a mum especially who was very much into alternative medicine. So I think I was always open-minded to things which were not where you could feel and touch. She was also later on in life a kinesiologist and a healer. And we had, when I was young, different mediums and other people staying with me. So I think the alternative world was always a part of what I am or what I have become as a person. Growing up in Denmark, you are not in a big city necessarily. Of course, we have Copenhagen, and I went to school in Copenhagen, which is a bigger city, but it's nothing like London or New York or these very big places. So I was very close, or much closer to nature. And nature has always been something which resonates with me and the person that I am. So I had a career in everything else which was not to do with jewelry at all, but then ended up working in brand turnaround for a jewelry company and absolutely loved it. So I thought, actually, why don't I start my own brand? And if I do that, I'm gonna design into some design codes, which is all about what I love, and which is about the spiritual properties of the stones. And stones, and we can maybe talk a bit more about energy and all of that a little bit later, but stones are incredible. They are full of frequency and vibrate at an incredible level, which means that they can help us to become a better part of ourselves. So I thought, actually, I'm going to marry the jewelry with something spiritual and do jewelry with deeper meaning, which is in essence all about putting a smile on your face, making sure that you can be the best you can possibly be, empower women through wearing jewelry and elevating their frequency to the best they can be.
I so believe in what you're saying and what you're doing, and in fact I'm so lucky to own one of Charlotte's rings. This is rose quartz, and it feels absolutely amazing. So what I love about it is, of course, it's a beautiful stone, and she chose it for me because she also has very unusual way of working. So you come when you meet Charlotte, and you would like a custom-made ring. She would choose the stone, the crystal that resonates most with either who you are or what you need. So this is what in the process we chose together, because she tells you which stone you might need, but she also asks, what do you feel? Because we feel stones and jewelry. So yes, there's a lot of meaning in the stone itself. And then also it has stars underneath. And to me, that's very, very special. For me, stars are special because my mom gave me the biggest gift when she told me you are born on the lucky star. And we'll ask Charlotte in a minute why she puts all those stars. And then I chose those pink sapphires around, but you could actually have them with different stones.
You can customize it to what's right to you. Yeah.
Yes. And today I'm wearing also another beautiful ring from her collection, just to match the outfit. I'm wearing royal blue. Is this lapis lazuli?
This is lapis lazuli set with sapphires.
With sapphires, they're absolutely gorgeous. So Charlotte, tell us, how do you describe the process of how you work with clients and how you create the pieces?
So if it's okay, I'll just touch 2 seconds on energy.
Oh, absolutely.
So we are all energy. Everything is energy in life. And that is true for steel constructions, houses, an apple, and for stones. Everything we touch is energy. We have in the core structure of a molecule, you have a proton, a neutron, and you have an electron that is sort of moving around the core structure of the nucleus of the atom. And that is true for every single material on Earth. So no matter how hard something looks like, and we know obviously that diamonds are is the hardest material that you can find. It's a 10 on the Mohs scale. That is also true for a diamond. If everything is energy, which is in constant motion, in constant basically movement, then we are also in constant movement as a person. And that means that we interact, even though we can't see it directly. And some structures are obviously very hard, so it might take a very long time, to degrade or to happen something to it. We still interact on an energetic level on a constant basis. Some energies you're going to feel more attracted to than other energies. And that is true for people. That is true for dogs, for everything that is around us. It's true that when we walk into a house, we can feel, is the energy good in the house, or is it not good in the house? Or you might have walked into a meeting, a corporate meeting setting, and you experience straight away that, gosh, something heavy was going on here. I'm not feeling great. Let's open the windows and get some fresh air in, or let's get some fresh energy into the room. And the same thing is happening with stones. There are going to be some stones, because each individual stone have their own frequency, just like you have your own frequency. You have you can call it an energetic DNA around you, which is also called an aura. And this aura is unique to you. And it is made up of different frequency, your personal frequency. And each stone, each ring, and each crystal also has a personal frequency. So you're going to resonate better with some of these stones than others. And stones always work for your higher good. Always. But it of course means that in life, maybe we don't need just one stone. We maybe need more stones, because there are more things we can do.
We women, so sorry Charlotte, we women need more stones, definitely, more rings, more jewellery.
More jewellery, yeah.
The more the merrier.
This is just a little collection of what is possible, obviously.
A candy, it's a grown-up candy shop.
It's candy for women, yeah, exactly. But the thing is, every emotion also have an energy and a frequency. And if you think positive thoughts, you elevate your frequency. And if you think negative thoughts, if your glass is always half full, you lower your frequency. And healthy people have a higher frequency. It's just the way it is. Lots of research has been done measuring what the megahertz level of frequencies are wavelengths, what they are of healthy people and of sick people. And sick people maybe resonate at a frequency between, say, 6 to 10 megahertz, whereas normal people are between 30 and 100. And really high-end sports people who are both mentally very well balanced and nurturing their bodies, they might resonate up to 2,000. But the reason why I'm saying this is that what it's really about is to say, how can we elevate our frequency? And there's lots of things we can do to elevate our frequency. But these frequency that the stones have a lot of tangents to play with, and it can help you diminish things in you. Might it be self-doubt? Might it be anger? Might it be, that you are not letting go of things you should let go of? The ring's frequency can help you decrease that and then increase things like joy, happiness, creativity, self-confidence, all of these things that we're going to want more. Self-love,
or attract love.
Or attract love into your life. And that's how the stones work. They work on a frequency level. Albert Einstein famously said that the future of medicine is the medicine of frequencies. So it is really about being able to change your frequency, and then you get more healthy. And I think people, especially after COVID, has really got onto that, because mindfulness became a much bigger thing. Meditation, people are walking in nature. Nature resonates at a very stable frequency, so it's incredibly healthy to go for a walk in nature. Really good for our bodies, and we feel better afterwards once we've done that and we've been out for a walk. But all the stones are basically that. They interact with you. So to get back to your original question was, how do I work? So the way I work is, I work with dowsing. So dowsing is a very, very old, several thousand-year-old divination tool where you can ask sort of yes-no questions, and it taps into your higher consciousness and gives you answers which are not maybe completely always conscious for you. So you have an unconscious mind and a conscious mind, and it can tap into both of these and give answers on your behalf. And provided I get the yes from whoever I'm working with, we then work together, looking at all these crystals and seeing which ones of these crystals are actually resonating with you. Which one is it that you are maybe needing in your life to be the best version of yourself that you can be? Once we've done that, very often what happens is that you end up with like 3 crystals, for example, and most people don't buy 3 rings straight away. So we got to narrow it down to which one is right for you right now. And very often, interestingly enough, it ends a little bit up with that something is working on the past, something is in the present, and something is helping you a little bit more for the future. That said, stones can do quite a lot of things. So they will regulate themselves after what it is that you need. They're very clever like that. But then we narrow down a little bit, what is it that would be best for you to work with? And then we customize the ring exactly to what's right for you. So you might, as in your case, you ended up with
the rose gold.
With the rose gold.
Yes.
You wanted it set in rose gold. You wanted it set, and it was a rose quartz, obviously a very, very high quality rose quartz, and with pink sapphires around. Pink being aligned to the heart chakra, which is very important. It's about love, self-love, and love of others, both in relationships but also in friendships. An amazing stone.
I love this ring. I have lots of jewelry, obviously being in the jewelry for more than 2 decades.
Yes.
But this one is very meaningful for me, just because because of everything we're describing. It's about the special meaning of the stone, it's about the stars, it's about how soft it is.
Yeah.
And I know that for you, Charlotte, the quality of the stone and the quality of the jewelry is very important. You coming from Denmark, where quality and having less instead of more, which means that this design is quite minimalistic, right? So it's about the beauty and the quality of the stone and everything that goes.
And about the quality of the gold. So it's very heavy,
It is
with
heavy.
gold. I
Yeah.
have not, lots of jewelers nowadays, and I understand it is hard because gold prices have gone crazy. Stone prices are expensive. So what happens is that lots of jewelers engineer all the gold out. And I just made up my mind and said, I just want to do a product which I think is truly beautiful, which is truly according to Danish design codes, where we do a product of quality, a product which is yours to have, but which is also a little bit like, the watches and so forth that can be passed on to next generations. And all you have to do is just cleanse the stones so that they energetically can do the work that they are there to do and that they want to do to help us. But I would like to just finish off how I work. So once we have done the work on which stones and we've had the stone produced, then what I do is that I cleanse the stone energetically, and then I do a meditation for the stone. And I know that's not for everybody to love that, but you can just wear it because you think it's beautiful and it gives you a good feeling, or you can take the whole story on board. No matter what, I'm going to give you the whole story, and then you can do with it what you want.
I took the whole story just to share with you. I have a beautiful message that Charlotte downloaded.
Yeah.
I don't know, where does the message come from?
So I do a meditation with the ring, and then I get a message from the stone to the person who's going to wear it. And I get that through meditation, and I write it down. And I don't really, it's not really me. I'm more medium for receiving the message. So I just write down the message. Sometimes it makes sense to me. Sometimes it doesn't really make sense to me. But, I don't know all the people who are buying rings that well, right? So I wouldn't really know. But so I just write down the message from the stone to the wearer. And I give you that together with the ring when you get it. Yeah. And then you have something quite unique, quite special, more than just a ring. Something that is supposed to put a smile on your face every time you wear it.
I love that. Like you, for me, beauty, jewelry, and spirituality are very, very important.
It is.
And combining them together is very, very special. It's just so much more meaningful. So you come from corporate career, from career in beauty and later jewelry, and now you have your own business. Was the transition easy? What would your advice be to a woman who at a certain point in her life, maybe later in life, decides to change career? Because you recently changed career completely, right?
Completely, yes.
Amazing. Yeah. So tell me, how was it for you, and what would be your advice for someone who feels they have another purpose?
It's definitely a big step. And I think going and becoming entrepreneurial, especially I worked many years for L'Oréal around the world, in Denmark, I worked in Paris, in New York, and then here, and then I changed to Estée Lauder companies and worked for them for many years, and then I did some private equity backed brand turnarounds of new brands and so forth, and then I decided I wanted to do that and started to become first a gemologist, because I thought I got to know a little bit more about stones, and it was actually great to study again, having not studied for many years apart from business cases and so forth. But it is a big step, and it's especially a big step if you don't have like a husband in our case, because we are women, or somebody behind you who is very rich and can maybe fund your way. You are, for a new business, going to need money, and you can either borrow money, I suppose, maybe you already have it. In my case, I used my savings, to fund my business. And you clearly don't need to do a jewelry business where everything is gold and expensive stones, and where the startup cost and your cost inventory is very high. You could do something which is less expensive than that. But marketing is hard, everything, it is hard. But the other side of it is that in life, there comes a point where you want to do something a little bit. I think the Japanese have it very right. It is your ikigai. It is where you are marrying something that you are hopefully good at, something that you love doing, something where you can earn a living, which is to the expected level that you want to have, in a place where you can, and something where you can give a bit back. Because the giving back piece is where you are changing people's lives. It's where the need is a little bit, and where you can add something in some way to the world. Your little piece, your little drop in the ocean, but nevertheless your little contribution to making the world a better place. And I felt for me the time was there. It's what I had to do. No roads, no change is easy, right? Change, if it's good, will nourish you, make you grow and feel great. Change, if it's hard, is going to teach you lessons. And I think on the road of entrepreneurship, there's going to be a bit of both. There's going to be the days where you smile, where you got an article into somewhere that you really wanted to get into, or you managed to find the right producer or whatever it is, and yes, I got it.
Or happy clients.
Or happy clients, of course, yeah. But even before you get to the happy clients, yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. But there's also going to be times where you work with people where it wasn't right, you thought it was going to be right, and it turned out not being right, and we forget sometimes to listen to the intuition of ourselves. We might not trust our intuition as much as we should, or our heart, it's a learning. So I can't say it is a straight roll and you're just bicycling out the road and you get to the end of it and you drink champagne, right? It's not the way it is. It's ups and downs, so it's hard. But it's worth it, I think. It's worth it because you're doing something where you're not having a job as such. Yes, yeah, when I sit with Excel spreadsheets and VLOOKUPs and there's a mistake somewhere here and I have to find it among a million lines and I'm tearing my hair out. Yes, it's not great. But most days, you're allowing yourself to do something you love, and you know that by the end of it, once you succeed and you sell and you make people happy, you are really happy. It's very, it's very, yeah, it makes you very joyful yourself.
I can totally relate with what you're saying because I have been an entrepreneur since 2007, and as you said, the road is not only roses, sometimes it's rock and roses, but it's totally worth it. I can't imagine having a boss, someone telling me what to do. I like to listen to my heart and follow my heart's desires.
You're very good at that, aren't you? Yeah, you are.
Well, I don't know, and again, I resonate with you so much because we're quite similar. We're creative, and also I changed career. I mean, I didn't completely change, but I re-educated myself later in life. After 45, I became a therapist, a hypnotherapist, a therapist, and I still do jewelry. But I also I found my own unique way of linking jewelry with spirituality.
Yeah.
And now I could give my clients rings and earrings and bracelets and beauty and meaningful jewelry. But also if they need some healing, therapy or coaching, I could do that. Yeah. And this is giving back to the world and using, that higher purpose.
Yes.
Because it's fun to work for companies. It's amazing, as you said. There's a lot of fun in it too. But at a certain point, you want life and you want work on your own terms. And as both of us being mothers as well, how do you balance work and family life? You are a wife, you're a mother, you are you're a boss, you are creative director and designer.
Yeah. Yes, it is. I mean, I think I am a bit lucky, as in I have quite a lot of energy in general. And as my husband would say, you are like the energizing bunny who keeps going, you know. And that is true. I have a bit of learning there, Julia, to relax. I'm not so good at relaxing. I'm always a little bit doing something. So I try to be a bit disciplined with how I spend my time and to try to fit it all in. Thank you for wearing the sweet aura rings.
Oh, yes, I want to show you guys this newer collection, right?
Yeah, newer collection.
They are kind of the baby version of the bigger rings, and I love them. They're so colorful.
The bigger rings actually come in a couple of different sizes. They come in like the big size, and then in one which is slightly smaller, and then this one which is called Sweet Aura.
Sweet
where
Aura.
you can choose 2 colors of auras.
Oh.
And the auras are relating obviously to our auras, but also to the chakras in our body. So the main sort of 7 chakras that are mostly used within crystal healing and meditation, and yeah, to align those, because they are our energy points, vibrational points in the body, and they need to be aligned in order for us to work in an optimal way.
I apologize for the way my brain works. I jump from topic to topic because there's so many things I want to ask you and I want you to share with our audience. But then I see the rings and then I think of something else and I think I'm totally ADHD, but you know what, it's part of the journey.
But I will go back to your question. So the question is, how do I juggle being having a lot of hats on? Because I don't have just my creative fund or whatever. I'm also, shipping out products, having meetings with FedEx to negotiate prices, stone dealers. It's not all glamorous, right? There's a lot to be done. Packaging that you need to get done, creative new work, which is obviously what I love doing. But I try to be disciplined with myself. I try to, when I get up, get a little bit of exercise in, if I can. Not every day for me, apart from walking my dog, but I walk my dog in the morning, and that's almost meditative. You can say hello to him in a second. And I walk for an hour in the morning before the sort of kids are up, come back, take kids to school, and once they're out of the door, I can start my work. And then I work during the day, doing lots of stuff. And then when it's time to, I have somebody to help me to pick up the kids, which does help. Because if not, your day really finishes quite early.
Yeah.
And that for me is a bit of a challenge. But working for ourselves, if there's something important, if there's sports day at school or whatever, I no longer have to miss all of those. I can organize my time so that I can attend those things. But am I the mum who is the best at being there for every charity event at the school? Potentially not. But I am there sometimes. And then I love cooking. I love hosting. I love doing things for flowers, displays, stuff like that. So I try to do a bit of that as well. And seeing friends. For me, friends are incredibly important. Friends are the energy of life, which is giving you a burst. They're there for the good times, for the bad times, and a great laughter with great girlfriends and so forth. So I do try to do that too. And I have a couple of book clubs, which are great because they also push me to read something I wouldn't normally read, for example. And then I love traveling, and traveling for the star sign I am is also incredibly important for me, and it comes as part of my work, that I have to travel. So that is something I actually really appreciate. Now I have a reason for why I have to travel.
An excuse.
An excuse to travel for work, but I love it because it gives me a bit of an injection of new energy, new colors. I traveled extensively in my life. And it gives me something every time. I love markets, and doing things. But I also try to get to bed at a fairly decent time. And I am getting also more hard with myself on how much alcohol I consume. So I love wine. And if you give me a really wonderful bottle of Burgundy, or I could definitely take care of it all by myself, I'm sure. But I try to have a think about that. I do have to get up the next day, so just enjoy a glass or two instead of enjoying, the bottle potentially, just to be a little bit more healthy.
Discipline, beating. Okay, as you said a little bit, not stressing yourself with it, but also being the right role model for the children, but also having fun with life and allowing yourself.
And I didn't even think about the role model thing, so thank you for mentioning that. But anyway, yes, but that's true, I suppose,
That's true.
And then, of course, with kids, there's always a lot going on with kids, with their lives, with the sports, with birthday parties, with this and whatever. So it is busy.
Yeah.
It is busy. And then I think I can't say I'm always successful, but from time to time to book a weekend away just with my husband, because if not, you can quickly get disconnected, or we try to have a date night in. We want to have one every week. It doesn't really happen every week, but it might happen every other week. And I do think that keeps you a little bit aligned, and date nights where you're not allowed to discuss organization for who does what in terms of pick up and drop off and this and whatever, but you actually talk about you and or other things that matter.
This is very special, and thank you for sharing that. That's why I love having the podcast, because I am lucky enough to know amazing people like yourself who have so much to share. And for those people who maybe don't have the opportunity to travel so much, or the opportunity to see so much beauty or touch it, at least I want to give them the stories and the motivation, the inspiration that they could do something in their own lives with what they have. So on a day that you feel down, what would be your pick-me-up technique? Something easy that people could just also replicate.
So I think it's very individual what works for you. On a day where I'm not feeling great, I definitely try to take the dog for a walk in nature. As we talked about, nature has a very steady resonance that really does pick you up. And if you don't live next to a forest, actually a picture of nature will also do the trick. So have somewhere a picture of something beautiful that you love, be it the water, for example, which is about balance and harmonization, in your life. Be it a beautiful picture of a field with flowers or something else like that. If I really have a troublesome day, I might just take a day off work, you can say, and I will go and I live in West London, I might go to Petersham's nurseries, and I will look at the flowers, and I'll go for a walk along the Thames, and I might treat myself to hot chocolate or whatever it is, and look at some beautiful things.
What about a piece of cake?
Definitely a piece of cake. And
it does pick me up.
It does pick you up. I might call it a girlfriend if there's something I need to get off my chest. But another thing I do is that I have a couple of meditations that I have downloaded on my phone. I have them in different lengths depending on how much time I have. So I have one which is just 12 minutes, which is really grounding me. I have one that is 25 minutes, and then I have one that's 40. And I can choose the one, and I tend to listen to the same ones again and again, and they really calm my system down. I also started to become a crystal healer. So even though that's not for everybody, I know, then I might just get the crystals out and take the ones that are resonating with me, that I can feel that I need. I might cleanse myself with a selenite wand, which is something everybody could just buy on Amazon, a selenite wand, and you just clear your body of negative energy. That also really works.
I'll ask you to show it to me after.
Yeah, I will, definitely. Happy to do that. I think I might just go baking or cooking or something like that.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So a few things. You mentioned, we were chatting before the podcast, and you said that yes, since we last saw each other, indeed, those couple of fabulous jewelry events showcasing your jewelry to my clients, you have studied and become a crystal healer, and also you're studying Reiki. And we were discussing water. Right now we're both drinking Kangen water, which is the healthiest water that I know exists, apart from the one in source in the Alps or Himalayas. And you were mentioning it's already at an amazing vibration and frequency, but you mentioned with Reiki you could also do something special to the water and change the frequency. Can you show that, or does that need to be done in private? Can people do it, or you need to know Reiki?
I think you need to take a course in Reiki before I will guide people to do that. But with Reiki, what you do is you tap into the universal energy, which is all around us, and there's lots of it, and you literally channel the universal energy into either people, to try to heal them, to elevate their frequencies, to make them feel better. And you can also do that with water, where you hold around the water, and I've done with my kids some before and after. It's quite fun, where we took 2 glasses of water. One glass I would do nothing with, and the other one I would give Reiki, and they'd had to tell me which one was which. And it changes the taste of the water. Wow. You can elevate the frequency of water. But you can give Reiki to animals, on my dog or my kids, or anything actually, around your food. If you're unsure about it, you can elevate the frequency, and it's quite special.
It's quite amazing. I'm very impressed by you, how you never stop learning, growing, changing, evolving. You are amazing.
Oh, thank you. That's very good, but so are you.
Maybe that's
you always grow and do things as well, which is fantastic. I think it's important for our mind, to keep it active and to learn new things, because I started to become a crystal healer because I was working with all the stones, and I know I can tap into the stones, I can tap into people, I can marry you up with the crystals that are right for you. But I never learned what each of the crystals are doing. So it's not like a psychological consultation where you're sitting and you're saying, oh, I'm suffering from this and from that, I would like more of this and that. And hence I say, so that means you need this remedy, Mm-hmm. It's not a plaster, right? So we do it the other way. We tap into the energy and we see what aligns energetically with you, and then we can read about the crystals. But I felt I needed to know a bit more about crystals. So hence why I chose to study to become a crystal healer as well, because you learn a lot about crystals. But there are a lot of crystals. And it can be hard to remember what everything is doing, and they each are beautiful in their unique way.
Amazing. Just before the most important questions that I always ask, just wanted you to say a couple of words about your new collection, and you're wearing something around your neck that is beautiful, and those new bracelets. Please show us and tell us.
So this one is not launched. This one is already a little bit on the website. They are part of our Magic Wish line. So the magic wish being, if you could wish for something else in your life that you would like more of or less of, what would that be? And then there's going to be a crystal which is going to be aligning with you. And these are bracelets, so I'm wearing 4 that I've sort of stacked together. And they are all set with a star. Might be difficult to see, but if I have one here actually, I could maybe show. Can you see that they're set with a star? No, it's a little bit tricky to see, but they are. So these are on the website now, and they will come in many colors. And if there are colors I don't have, I also make them customized for people, so they could say, oh, I want it with a green tourmaline, or I want it with whatever, and I would do those. So yeah, so that's one part new, and the other line is not on the website yet.
Not launched yet.
Not launched yet, and it's these ones that we're wearing.
Very pretty.
This is just one part of it. It's called Soul Candy, and it's I make all my other jewelry is in 18 karat gold, but the Soul Candy items are going to be in 14 karat gold. And the Soul Candy is really to have something which is playful for the soul. So it's the idea of you walking into a spiritual, if you can follow my concept here, a spiritual candy store. It could be for the beach, it could be for every day. It's obviously maybe a little bit much for the beach, but nevertheless, you have like a mixture of different properties like this that you put together. So in this one I have coral, I have peach moonstone, rose quartz, and pink opal, which is very much aligned to the heart chakra. These ones, and to love and to attracting great relationships and so forth. It will come with necklaces, both in long necklaces in gold, but also with cord, which is a little bit more funky, great with your jeans and something, and you can have it obviously short like this.
I love it.
Like we are having
You
here.
can really play with it.
You can really play with it. And there will be earrings with different stones that we have put together so that the stone come with like a meaning but with different stones that are, and they're quite lightweight, so they're good to wear, short, big, whatever. There will be some really cool rings as well in a new look.
Watch this space.
Watch this space. It's coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Yeah.
In the description, I'll drop Charlotte's website, but also feel free to ask me directly. You know, I do personal shopping and styling, so do ask me. And the crown question.
Oh,
Charlotte, show me your diamond.
Diamond in which sense are you thinking?
Anything. That's why I like it to be playful. So a diamond for someone could be this. For someone else could be something else. So what's your diamond?
What's my diamond? I think if we're talking jewellery, I will take a piece of jewellery potentially. But I think so I love these earrings, for example, which are part of my guiding star collection,
and they have diamonds,
and which are full of diamonds, and they're obviously quite festive and quite fun. So that could be, or some of my rings, which I absolutely adore. But I think the diamond in my life, apart from my family, which is obviously the core diamond, is probably nature and flowers. I absolutely love flowers. I'm also love doing gardening and making things grow and picking bouquets. I'm constantly making big bouquets. You can see these gorgeous flowers just behind the tulip tree. It was my neighbor that were cutting down the tree or trimming the tree, and I was like, oh, do you mind if I steal some of these branches? So I just love doing flower arrangements. It gives me a real boost of energy, and if I have to choose between when I was younger, to have a steak or something like that and having a bouquet of flowers and then eating vegetables, I would definitely choose the flowers and having vegetables, or potatoes for dinner or whatever it might be. My life would not be the same without flowers.
Wow, no one on the podcast has come up with this answer. I love it. My diamond is nature and flowers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Charlotte, for your wisdom, for your amazing energy, for sharing your story and giving inspiration to others.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. Thank you for watching. And in the description, I will also drop a link for you to download the first chapter of my upcoming book, Polish Your Diamond Within. We all have a diamond within, and it's right here where your heart is.